Hello. I'm a little impromptu, but I just decided, why not? I'll stream uh, a broadcast, the NASCAR Budweiser series at Darlington today. Normally, I would have my free cam going and just showcase the track, but the free cam is really buggy today for some reason. So right now, I'm just gonna showcase practice play before, uh, while they're qualifying. The Lady in Black, a 1.13-mile track, the first ever paved NASCAR track that ended up on the schedule. And located in South Carolina, the only track going for them within the Darlington County. So, I say a little impromptu because, well, I was going to race, but then I just decided not to because I have acquired new equipment in terms of tickers and stuff that I thought I might as well try to showcase before BPNR the main season gets going again. It is going to be a little weird because for Galden, the viewers, you only hear me, but behind the scenes, I'm having to be in a Discord call with not only the admins but pretty much everyone else. So gonna be a lot of chatter behind me, and it's gonna be just a matter of guessing games on whether a caution is called or there's any penalties and such. But Pierre's qualifying has wrapped up. It is Landon Lyle on pole with Laura Turinor second, William Viola third, Friesen Baker fourth, Friesen Rodriguez fifth, Bowen Fisher sixth, Joseph Harrison seventh, Andrew McGarglow E8. I'm sorry for mispronouncing. Bobby Simpson 9th and Carl Childress right out your top 10. Joseph Landon Pavlon P11. Hector Garcia P12, last car to set a time. Those starting in the rear are Chuko Shinonome, Austin Barnett, Bowen Fisher, and Jack Merkel. Hey roster, so it's the first time I'm not streaming a BPNR race, so I'm gonna have to learn names a little bit here. Happy hours going on and drivers meetings in the background. 4 cars spin counter, 2 cars on 1 incident, or flip can trigger a caution. Restart single file, and it's going to be 74 laps today. No stages or any of that sort. Now, normally I would showcase points around this time too, but I unfortunately don't have access to that, nor was there a graphic posted for the public, so I'm just gonna go off of what was stated in the Discord announcements prior to the race. Give me 1 second. According to Jigo Shinonome, it is a 3-way battle heading into this race with 8 races left. The most winningest driver of Jack Merkel is trying to cut down the points lead of the current leader, Bryson Baker. As not too far down is also the underdog, Hector Garcia. And I guess while I'm waiting, I'm gonna tab out for a second. I might as well showcase a couple things. Here is the vertical ticker, which I'm not using for today because of low car counts, but I thought I might as well show it off. It's more catered to BPNR because if you remember last time I streamed, I did state that I wanted to host or broadcast the holiday season. Plans unfortunately took for the worst as miscommunication was present, so Dalton Tubbs is now responsible for the holiday season. But not to fear, because we both made an agreement that reprise, I will reprise my role in the main season. I'll come back to stream D2. Meanwhile, Dalton Tubbs will stream the D1 races. It's actually a fair trade-off. Whenever I race, he streams, and vice versa. But besides that, here is the horizontal ticker, which is where we will be using today. Doesn't showcase everyone at the moment because not everyone has put that in, but I did count 15 cars, 17 cars in this server, 16 if you exclude me, but 16 cars nonetheless, so hopefully I did the math right and everyone here should appear during the race. I can also use my hotkeys to display flags. I was gonna have it automated, but my problem, the bigger problem is that not every league uses the pace card, but I've also found that it's not completely accurate. And they're actually starting. Hold on. We can actually put this to use. I believe I believe I have taken a picture of entry list, but let me take a picture of it just in case. Alright. So, 74 laps. I've heard the car is really loose, so it's a matter of saving your rear tires today. It'll be interesting to see who's able to control their cars. Um, is it really a short track? I'm not too sure. There's huge debate on that, but me personally, I can call it a short track since you are using your brakes, even though it's just over a mile long. Like I mentioned, my free cam is a little buggy today, so we're just gonna have to use TV1 cam for the starts here. It is Landon Lyle and Laura Tranor on the front row, 74 laps ahead of us. And green flag is in the air. We are underway here at Darlington Raceway. Track is very narrow, and there they go. They're already wrecking. And that's going to prompt a reset. This track is narrow. If one person makes a mistake ahead of these starts and restarts, it's gonna trample everyone behind them.
Drivers, to your cars.
Alright, so we try again. Cold tires too. This is very easy to spin in turns 1 and 2 where it's mostly full throttle. It really depends on your tire wear, but maybe in the first lap or two you'll see cars barely lifting off the throttle.
Drivers, start your engines!
Attempt 2 at this Landon Island. Laura Tranor will lead field back to green. I think my game crashed. I think it did. Well, that's awkward. I guess I can showcase the tech error screen. Well, I have to boot up NR again. Yep, it crashed. Alright. Well, I missed the lap 1 crash, so fortunately we won't be able to see that. Or they can also reset, that's also helpful. I'm just gonna... It crashed again. This is what testing is for. I do apologize. Alright, I'm gonna have to, like, dumb down my settings quite a bit here. Um... And I returned. Green flag. Third time's a charm, right? It's gonna look a bit iffy with graphics, but whatever sacrifice is needed to not fall out for a third time. Then the line gets clear, and it's actually William Viola who moves up to P2. Though Entrepreneur just didn't get off the grid very well. Well, the 11 in the wall, that is McGargoyle. I'm gonna have a hard time pronouncing his name, I do apologize. But everyone has strong gal, it's pretty normal for Darlington. Very narrow track surface. Checking Amber on the back, we're all good. For P7, I believe this is Hector Garcia against Bobby Simpson. Gets clear of him, just ahead of him are Baker, who lets by Bowen Fisher. Someone spun on the prior lap, I didn't catch who, but oh well. Good defensive driving for Bowen Fisher in the early going, trying to fend off P5. Trenor, Turanor, I don't know how to pronounce it, but trying to make a move for P3, smack the wall, and now I believe that their teammates, Bowen Fisher, who gets by for P4. Not too familiar with teams. And for the lead, William Viola and Landon Lyle and clears him. As Landon Lyle gets into the wall. Does Freeland Rodriguez have any momentum to get P2? Nope, but Ryzen Baker does on Laura Turanor. Gets clear for P5, that is, yeah. And Jack Merkel, I've overheard the VC stating that he had dope track time. So this is the first lap he's driving right now on the track. All heard chatter. Not too sure, but Hector Garcia gets turned by Bobby Simpson, multi-car pile him down the backstretch. Also involved Jota Harrison, Carl Childress, Jack Merkel. And it's race back here, so it is Viola who wins the race back. Landon Lyle P2, Friesen Rodriguez P3. No clue if they're gonna pit this time. Alright, they're not open, so we can look at replay while we wait. So it started with these two. Hector Garcia drives off the track, and the back end just kicks out. Bobby Simpson nowhere to go, and everyone behind him kind of just nowhere to go. There's Harrison and Merkel shooting back up the track, and thankfully collecting no one else. And GLP, I believe that's a close call. Let's go on board with them. Yeah, just clips Bobby Simpson. Nearly gets plowed into. Faces the correct direction and should have little to no damage. They just have worn tires to go with it, probably. See from Bobby Simpson's POV. Megan just kicked out on the 8 car there, and just Bobby Simpson. Wrong place, wrong time. Alright, looks like pit lane is open this time round. And looks to be everyone's coming in. I do not blame them. Tires are of utmost importance here. And at 45 mph pit road speed. Couple cars in the back trying to find their pit stalls, but everyone's made it. And looks to be Landon Lyle who wins off pit road, beating out William Viola. That first pit stall advantage after winning pole award definitely benefited him. Ryzen Baker P3, Bone Fisher P4, Austin Barnett's P5. Being told going green next time. Couple cars still leaving the pits. Mid-cargo hill. But he stays out there, right? So 24 with black flag. I don't have a paint scheme, nor I don't think he's ever submitted it, but got 10 laps in, and just, I don't know. There's some data, but not a lot to go off of. It definitely tell you he was good on the short run. That was a 20, I believe. No, who's bidding? Hector Garcia. Extra pace laps, so we might as well. You never know if this turns into a field race. And you already have your tires to worry about. Right, it's up to the admins to call the green flag. One of few leagues where the leader does not have control of the restarts. So going into the restart, lap 12, single file restarts. Then allow your leader, William Viola P2, Bryson Baker P3, Bowen Fisher P4, Austin Barnett P5, Friesen Rodriguez P6, Laura Toronor P7, Joseph Landon Palvan P8. I'll just call him GLP, it's just easier. Jugo Shionomi 9th and Bobby Simpson P10. Green flag back in the air. Still got plenty of laps to go, 63 to be exact. You know, with a single file restart, it'd be easier to get settled in. Although, you wanna try to get track position, that's something that's really necessary here at Darlington, and there's a car on the wall that might be... Yeah, that was Hector Garcia. 3 wide towards the back here. Oh no. Now Carl Chill just gets tapped to the wall, no caution for that. Jack Merkel and McGargoyle just innocent victims in that. In an unorthodox pass. Oh, and around goes Austin Barnett. Keeps it straight, bounced off the wall. He's gonna lose a lot of time. And they're going 3 wide again. Jack Merkel this time benefiting, picking out 2 cars down the front stretch. Back up towards the front, Landon Lyle has checked out. William Viola is trying to fend off Bryson Baker for P2. Just behind them is Bowen Fisher. I want to say they're I want to say that the 3 of them are Penske, but I could be wrong. Battle for P6. Friesen Rodriguez versus GLP. And near death behind him, Jack Merkel really sideways through turn 2. And Hector Garcia just a bystander in that one. In the wall, Bobby Simpson. A lot more action this time around. Also Barnett down the apron. Yeah. Oh, that's a spinner. That's Hector Garcia. Speaking of spins. And bro is bringing it down. Bro Bluff did not win the race. Back up towards the front, Bryson Baker trying to peek his nose under Viola, unable to. And that was a Silver Warp. We're using Radman, so it's gonna do that. 5 cars under a blanket. It was a 1 to 2 second lead for Landon Lyle just a minute ago, but now they're all back on his rear bumper. Now side by side for P2. 77 has the inside lane. It's going to clear him for P2. Hector Garcia makes it back to the pits. And likely gonna fall lap down, much like Austin Barnett. Got P4, Bowen Fisher smacks the wall. Draw Norwich. Just gonna have to stick behind him. But that will reel back in Friesen Rodriguez in the 0-1 and GLP in the 68, P6 and 7 respectively. And I missed the overtake because I heard commotion, but Tranor makes her way up to P4. GLP scrapes the wall a little bit, but still within drafting distance, she can keep up. Now for P5, Frieza Rodriguez on William Viola. And Viola able to defend on the outside lane. For the lead. Oh, contact for the lead. Landed loud gets turned by Breaker. Back into turn 3. And I believe that triggered a caution. I realized I never put the green flag back out, but yeah. I mean, check real quick. Yeah, I never changed the flag back. My bad. Made rear end damage for a while. But that definitely helps a few cars. 11, 19, and 8 all one at least a lap down. Pit road open this time. Oh, it's not open, sorry. That's actually right on board with Bryson Baker. And it just said, kind of a mix up both landed out trying to tire save, backs off, and then chops off the 77, who is doing the exact opposite. He sees it as an opportunity to overtake, but ultimately couldn't make it work. Look from Tranor, P4 at the time. Right in the heat, the action is able to avoid it, but it is Paul and Fisher who grabs the lead off it. And Carl Judges is apologizing there for the 3 wide stuff. If y'all just tune in, don't worry, we'll go over the turkey timeline. Just after this cycle of pit stops goes through. Everyone is looking to pit here. Another 10 lap run. Hopefully we can have at least one green flag pit stop. I believe fuel window's like 33 laps, at least that's the normal for 2X around Darlington. Jack Burkle hits his pit box first, then he comes everyone else. Viola just overshot it, and so does the 77. Landon I have to repair the damage. That will give large run or the lead with Ball and Fisher P2. That's teammates. Frieza Rodriguez gets up P3. William Viola P4. Austin Barnett is a lap down. But I believe it's Jack Rico who will get P5 off this. So, with that in mind, we will go through the turkey timeline. Just a wall smack for Andrew McGarrell on the opening lap. And later on, this will be a self spin on the second lap. So that was the car that spun out on the second lap that I missed earlier and makes it down pit road. It's lap 3, wall smack. It's gonna be the norm because Darlington, you're bound to get a Darlington stripe somehow, someway. lap 7. This is the first caution. Hector Garcia's back in, kicks out, spins it. The Bobby Simpson, the 30 car, nowhere to go. Half the field collected in this one. Or at least 1/3, either or. That's a pit stop. It was 3 by a move by Carl Childs, just at 13, just misjudges it and gets ran over by Jack Burkle, but everyone keeps straight. On that same lap, wait, 11 car pops it loose, smacks the wall, they crash again. No, I hit the wrong button. Alright, never mind. Be good. Well, smack for Arson Barnett and misses pit road. Well, alright, we're gonna have to miss the rest of it, but oh, what is happening here? That is a stack up and a half, but we are green flag once more. Lap 26. 3 wide for P3, but it's GLP to get the benefit, but they right behind him. Friesen Rodriguez and Bryson Baker involved. A caution is back out. We did 10 laps apiece for the 2 runs we've had so far, and there's another wreck. And that's Jack Burkle spinning through turn 4 in the racing line. Get down to the apron, brother. There he goes. So, Tranor wins the race back. Teammate Bowman Fisher P2 and JLP P3. Landed out after getting wrecked from the lead 2 cautions ago now is back up to P4. What Nick Garcia doing? I believe they're getting their wave around. Trying to see if they pits here. Oh, excuse me. I don't think anyone's pitting at any official call, so let's just presume that. So from the lead, so we're gonna have a helicopter cam here. 2 cars the leader. Reminder is the admins that call control and the beam flag. It's not up to the leader, it's just a stack up. And CBMGLP's POV because he's the one who benefited the most out of this. Got 1 car. And just sends it 3 wide in the middle and makes it work up to PB. What a move on the restarts for the 68 car. Meanwhile, the wreck to initially trigger the caution. Yeah, just Friesen Rodriguez having to avoid the 68 car and for 77 nowhere to go on that one. Just chopped them off. It's just too many things happening at once, personally. Just ahead of this, they'd allow contact with the 24 car of Merkel. Spins towards the inside, but gets it corrected down to the apron. And 99 car is already established. It's just barely moves up and barely moving down. It's just a mix of both. Hard to tell, personally. Pit stops ongoing. It is Ryzen Baker who wins off pit road. Landon Lyle gets P2 ahead of Austin Barnett. It's 4 right off pit road, but it is Friesen Rodriguez, Carl Childress, Jota Harrison, and GLP. Few cars have stayed out this time. That being 5 cars total. Andrew McGargara, the last car to stay out. Being William Viola, Bobby Simpson, Bolin Fisher, and Leroy Ranor. As Ryzen Baker black flag for speeding, so they'll drop to the rear. So Hector Garcia. I'd say Landon Lyle's in best position to overtake because he has, well, it's only lap, 1 lap difference. He does have warmer tires. Meanwhile, the entirety of the top 5 I had to take a lap or 2, maybe even longer to get their tires warmed up, and swerving and NR under pacing doesn't do a whole lot, so it may tell that no one's trying that. Is it because they know or they don't plan to? So 11 on front are gonna have to deal with cold tires, and that means possible wheel spin. If that stack up on the previous restart is anything to go off of, it means that we're gonna be in for a lot more of a chaotic restart, hopefully without the wrecks. Going green this time. Green flag. And Landon now already on the move, looking for P5. Gonna get the wall. Carl, oh, gonna slice it to the inside of the 11. Carl Childs is gonna have to back off, but Friesen Rodriguez is not going to do that. Oh, the 3 spinning, but you got Dr. Barnett also spinning around. It's just unfortunate luck for the 19 car tonight. Spun early on and got trapped a lap down, and now this. The Dandelion loops up into top 5, got 4 more cars to go. Oh, I make guardrails spinning across the track. Oh, barely hit CLP, but it looks like he did spin off that. And yeah, the 11 car has retired for the race, our first DNF of the night. Man, landing a little more aggressive because, oh, what a shot around the outside. Gonna go around, barely clipped the wall, not able to clear the 12 car, but what a move if I've ever seen one. And now I believe that the cars that stayed out, they had their tires warmed up, so now they're on even playing field. It's just that Bandana has 1 more lap of tire to play around with. They're gonna look to the inside and get a clip. Good Bowen Fisher, both of them go around. And oh, Hector Garcia A's upside down. Ryzen Baker also involved. Man, I was kind of playing it, but man, the landed Lao way is just very, very reckless, and yeah, it's been proven once more. Paper not open. We shall look at the replay. Gonna look at heli for this one, as there's no good camera angle. Then allow a huge run down the inside, gets the apron, and just shoots up into the 12th car. And while these two are spinning, after Garcia hits the 99, gets flipped from that, and also the 77, also with nowhere to go but into the wall. So that's gonna be a wild ride for the 8 car as we go on board. Yeah, he was doing the right thing by going to the very inside. It's just that I don't think he anticipated the 99 spinning back around like that with his back end. When he was already next to the wall, there's nothing much more he could have done. I think Carl will do. I don't think he did anything, but I like to blame him. Pit road open this time, everyone back down pit road. As we're about to approach halfway. RG Bargy down pit road. Pit speed's 45, but 27 is a bit impatient here with the 30 car. But Viola thinks better of it, realizing the 30 has an earlier pit stall. Four tires for everyone. Entry. Never mind. Fuel take 2, and it's Tronor barely rang off pit road against Jack Merkel, William Viola, P3. Frieza Rodriguez, P4, and JLP. Rounds out your top 5. 19 black flag, once more. He and the 8 car one lap down, although I believe. 3 black flags total for this cycle of pit stops. It's my thing that I've been working this entire time. I'm just. Oh. Alright. I never realized that the horizontal ticker, the scoring wasn't working, so I'm gonna just do this. Hopefully it fixes itself. If not, then I'm just gonna have to pull up the classic ticker that NR provides. Good thing this is a test. Yeah, it's just. I think because my game crashed, that's unfortunate. Alright, just gonna have to pull this up then. I do apologize. I'll hopefully fix this. Hopefully fix it for the next time I do this. Because I have OBS behind NR, so I can't see. I only have one monitor, so and very little space to actually see it. Back green, Lutz Renor leads, and Wheeling VR is already on the move for P2. And Landon Lau has disconnected as the second retiree of the day. And the man who's only put now was down and near incident in the back, but we're good. As I was saying, the man who's only completed 39 laps now of track time, he's down in P2. Gonna look for P6 or 7, sorry, that is Bowen Fisher going against Jota Harrison. And Bowen Fisher backs out of it, but that will give Carl Childers a run down the front stretch, but it doesn't seem to take it. It backs out massively. Meanwhile, Bryson Baker barely gets out of that battle for P5. It's just nose to tail for P3 right now. At a place this narrow, I wouldn't want to sacrifice yourself. But you can Bryson Baker once more for P5 against JLP. And JLP able to defend on the outside. It is going to be a back and forth. It's just a matter of how Bryson Baker is able to generate that enough of a run to go by. Bone Fisher sideways out turn 4, keeps it straight. Meanwhile, the top 2 has checked out a little bit, only 3/10 between second and third, but it's still enough of a cushion in short track terms to not be nose to tail. For P10, both as Bobby Simpson able to overtake. Sorry, that's P11. I'm hearing talks of fuel save, which isn't entirely out of the question. As soon as I go back to the leaders, there's always some commotion towards the back of the field. It's like, I have to go back and check. It's 30 laps to go, still anyone's race. Everyone, yeah, 13 cars left in the race, all of them are on the lead lap, only 2 retirees out of the 15 cars that started. An 8 car around down the back stretch hits the inside wall, is a single car. We stay green. Well, does Merkel try to overtake, or like he has been doing, or does he back off and conserve? Just develop enough tires so he can challenge the 2 towards the end of the race. Now, each Darlington's a little inconsistent in terms of tire heat and wear, but majority of them will have you tire safe at very minimum. Just varies on how much and how long you need to go. Bobby in the wall. Hector Garcia back out pit road. And now Merkel's backed off a little bit, only down, backed up at least a 10th. And it's top 6 within this lead blankets. check on the rear bumper is Jack Merkel. It's also a matter of how many cars are behind you and how willing they are to pounce. Because Merkel is better off passing Truanor before Viola or even Baker can pounce on him. Oh, you gonna get a run off here? Unable to utilize it into turn 1. Barely enough for 2 cars to go side by side, but with high speed and the trajectory you need to make the momentum work, it's just not worth it to go side by side, especially when you have P3 on back right in your mirror. And he got a better off run here, but had to live if he's gonna run the 2 over otherwise. And side by side up ahead for P3, that's Bowen Fisher against Baker. Oh, RG5G off turn 2. Another unique thing about Darlington is 3 and 4 is that people will tend to downshift here. It's just normally you see that at the road courses, but this is one of the few oval tracks that third gear can be possible. Really, mostly depends on the setup, but if you're skilled enough, you could make third gear work. However, it comes at the cost of losing rear tire grip over time. And with the fact that these drivers will need to save at minimum fuel as the 19 gets the wall again twice and gets Joe Harrison, but the 20 keeps it straight. This man has no luck. I feel bad for him. So it's 2 out of 4 in the spin counter, as I'm told. There is a point of no return, which I believe is at 5 to go. Milan Viola now for P3 against Rice and Baker. And is able to clear him on entry. Check back here, we got battle for P9. That is Joe Harrison trying to get past Jugo Shinonome. Developed a bit of a gap now into 3. 20 more laps. I've heard it spin, but they somehow saved it. Bryson Baker now backs off this battle. He was keeping up with them, but just, I believe he used up his fronts too early now. He's still at 19 more laps to negotiate. But here comes William Viola, not 1 but 2 cars is gonna go for the lead as Laura Truanor hits the wall into turn 1. Yeah, just like I was pointing to earlier, you better pounce on the 2 car before someone else does, and that worked into William Viola's favor. And so far for Merkel, he had a net gain of 0 positions. Side by side for P8's Carl Childress, that's by Shinonome. No, Blake Merkel's gonna pick here. This is interesting. If he can't save enough, you might as well pit. Barnett down pit road, he spun earlier. And spin by Carl Childress gets smacked by side by Joe Harrison, but no one spun from it. Looks to be 4 tires for 24 car, sorry. It's just a matter of if these lead cars decide to pit. If they can't make it on fuel or even tires, that's going to allow the 24 to close back in. As Jack Merkel leaves pit road, here comes Bryson Baker to respond. I don't blame him. He was one of the few leaders to nearly spins up and save it. He was one of the few drivers to push it in the early going of this run. But luckily for 77, he's getting off those tires anyway. Hector Garcia gonna try to get by GLP without incident. He is 8 cars a lap down. Just 3 cars that have a realistic chance of winning yet to pit, that being Viola, Turanor, and Rodriguez. Carl Childress looking to pit this time as, I believe, a contact between 19 and 30, but nothing more to it. It looks to be that the 77 is leading, sorry, no, he was, but now it's a 24 that is leading the group of cars that opt to pit. Childress down pit road. Low 30s for Merkel. And we're the leader. They're running 31s. Low 31s and that. Bound for P2. Friesen Rodriguez hits the apron and has to back out. P2, sorry. Everyone's spread out now. It's just a matter of single car spins. I believe it's still 2 out of 4 in spin counter, though I could be wrong, and they may only need 1 more for the caution. Got bit teammate swap here. Got Bon Fisher overtaking Tranor and nearly wrecked himself in the process against Friesen Rodriguez. Get 10 more laps coming in 9. It's just Merkel's gonna need some luck inside, and that shouldn't include a caution. Even with a caution, Merkel is in a lucky duck position. So it's all possible. Still not over. Okay. Garcia. 2 laps down at the moment, and that was actually for position against Barnett. That will move him up to P11. As in terms of people that have pitted already, Bryson Baker hits the front stretch, start finish now as the 24's in turn 1. And points of no return is soon. You just have to commit to your strategy, even if it doesn't work out. Battle for P5, Bobby Simpson versus Jota Harrison. And both of them 22 seconds back, but Simpson hits the wall, making Jota's job a lot easier. Hector Garcia got opted for fastest lap according to communications. And Ghost Merkel overtakes P2, not for position, but still valuable track position. Alright, I'm told points and no returns now, so no more cautions from here on out. Does William Viola have enough fuel or tires to make it to the end? If not, then 3 and closer to 4 seconds back is Reason Rodriguez waiting in the wings. Oh, there's a right down the back stretch of Bowen Fisher and Bobby Simpson. And reminder, it is points of no return, so no caution will be called for any of this. I have to look at that post race. Got 3 laps to go. William Viola now 4.5 seconds up on Friesen Rodriguez. One of 5 people to remain on track without a pit stop during this run. And Bobby Simpson makes it to pit road. 2 laps to go. And here comes Jack Merkel gonna unlap himself, but might be way too late to gain 30 seconds. Another 30 seconds to overtake him for the win. It's 3-2-1 versus 30.7. You'll need another 35-ish laps if I'm being generous. He comes to the white flag one more time around for William Viola. He got crawling speed. He has nearly a 5-second lead over Friesen Rodriguez. And he can coast from here. Do the M4. And it is William Viola who will win at Darlington Raceway. We got Friesen Rodriguez finishing P2 and 20 seconds behind the leader. Here comes GLP in the 68 car to finish P3, final spots on the podium. Oh, ban off. Ban off. Okay, my game is not cooperating. Right, so I have to leave actually right now, so I'll... My bad, I have to leave right now, but so I'll quickly do a bit of pre-race or post-race stuff. Viola burns it down. Really deserving win after pulling out tire saving strats. Just give it one more time. I mean, Not be smart. Alright, let's quickly go over the remainder of the order. It is indeed Hector Garcia got fastest lap 28 with 412. But as for the finishing results, Viola wins with Friesen Rodriguez P2, Joseph Landon Palvon P3, Chico Shionoma P4, Jack Merkel P5, last car on the lead lap. Ryzen Baker P6, Jello Harrison P7, Laura Tranor P8, Austin Barnett P9 after a very abysmal day, and called Childress rounds out your top 10. Blunt Fisher P11 and Hector Garcia P12, P11 and 12 respectively. Bobby Simpson 13, Landon Lyle 14th, and Andrew McGargle P15 in last place. I know I was supposed to go over a wreck, but I have to leave like now. So thank you for tuning in, and that also means no interviews, unfortunately. But I do have some kinks to work out with the tickers and stuff, but thank you all for the support. I don't know when I'll stream again. Maybe in this league again, but we'll see. Until next time.